Hey everybody, welcome to Girls Game Shelf. Today is Valentine's Day! Yay! Which also happens to be a very unromantic Thursday. That means that many people will be working today, including my spouse. So I'm gonna be playing some solo games today. And I thought, if I'm gonna be playing solo games, I should share with you the solo game that I play the most. Is it the most complex, hot, and weighty game out there? No, absolutely not. But it's one of the most charming games, and definitely the most convenient game that I own. I'm talking about none other than Palm Island. Now, I may have a bit of a soft spot for Palm Island. I don't back that many Kickstarters because, oh my gosh, you guys, y'all are crazy. But Palm Island, I did back because I was very excited about it. And it has not disappointed, and it has certainly given me enough value for my money with how many times I've played it. It plays in about 15 minutes. You can play 2 players, but I've never really felt the need to. I have, seriously, a copy of this in my nightstand and in my purse. So, how do you play Palm Island? Let me tell you. So this is Palm Island. This is the full game. It's just 17 cards. The first thing you're going to want to do is make sure that each of the cards have the number in the top left-hand corner, so they're all in their place. They don't have to be in order. In fact, you should shuffle them, but the orientation of the cards matters very much so in this game. You got your round tracker on top, you flip that to the back, and you're ready to start playing. So to play the game, you take the top 2 cards, and you can take an action on the top section of either of these cards. But what actions can you take? There are 3 different actions that you can take on a card. So here, with this one, I can either store it for free, and to do that, I would turn it on its side like that so that I can see that resource peeking out. Let's say I already had 1 fish and I was able to do this action. That means I could flip the card, and now next time I come across it, I can flip it to get 2 fish. So I'm upgrading this resource. And then if I pay another fish to flip it, it's another upgrade. But this time it's a log and a fish. So you're wanting to upgrade your resources in this game. Right now, the only thing I can do with that card is store it, which is not a bad deal. Here's another card, another resource that I'm going to store. And when I'm storing more than 1 resource, I'm staggering it in the back. See that? I can store up to 4 resources this way. If I get a 5th one, then I have to put 1 back, keeping the correct orientation of the card. So now, why are we getting all these resources? We're doing it because we want to make our village a better place and get points for that. So here is the housing card and the temple card. I have a fish and a log. So I'm going to spend these resources by carefully putting them back there. And I'm going to flip this card. And now I have 1 point on this card. It gets more difficult to upgrade your houses and your temples because now I need to pay 1 log, 1 fish, and 1 stone to do it. Let's say that I had those resources. I would flip the card. Now it's worth 3 points. But now I need to spend even more resources to be able to flip it to its final position, which is worth 6 points. The temple is a similar card to the housing card, but its final resting points is worth a whopping 10 points. So the game goes on with you storing resources in this manner to upgrade your house and get better resources so that you can keep making your village a better place. And then eventually, boop, 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 you're gonna find it. Let's just say we've played all of that. Now eventually you're gonna get back to your round tracking card. You get to keep the resources for the next round, but you have to flip this card so that you know you're on the 2nd round. There we go. And if you come across that resource again and you haven't used it, well then you've lost it and it goes to the back. So that's another thing you can do. If there is not an action that you can take on one of the 2 top cards, you can discard the first card. You can never discard the second one, but you can discard the first one. So the game goes on until you've reached the 8th round. Let's see here. Boop, 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 boop. So now I'm going to flip it and pretend that we've gone through this 8 different times. Then you're going to count all of your points. So in this imaginary game, I have an imaginary 16 points for my village. Now you get to look at the last page of your rule book and see how your village made out. For 10 to 19 points, you need some work. 20 to 29, you have a respectable village. For 30 to 39, your village is exceptional. And for 40 plus, you have an astounding village. Ours wasn't so great, but you know, that's okay. And that is the gist of how you play Palm Island. Now there's a couple of different modes you can play this game in. You can play with 2 or 3 players. You can play it cooperatively. You can play competitively. You can play it with extra villager cards that make the gameplay more challenging. So there's other things you could do to spruce up the base game of it. If you are interested in checking it out, I'll put the links below to Portal Dragon, who published the game. This is not a sponsored video, so it is just up there because I like it. And on that note, it goes on the shelf. Thank you guys so much for watching today. I hope you have a beautiful Valentine's Day, whether you celebrate it today, this weekend, or just not at all. Happy Valentine's Day.